Well, Rob, it's been an interesting few weeks, 2 weeks of Europe, obviously back to the Premiership last week, now back to Europe again with the double header. Just sum it all up, it's been a good block.
Yeah, I mean, so far we've got everything we want out of it. 3 5-point wins, it doesn't get any better than that. Can't credit the players enough for the hard work they put in, but how they stuck to task. There were times over in La Rochelle where it was tough. There were certainly times against Glasgow, particularly look at the score at half time, conceded an early try where it was tough. And last week, there was a period, kind of that second quarter of the game, where we were kind of pinned in our own half, kind of into our faces into the wind, and we had to fight. We had to fight to maintain the lead we had going into half time, and then really push through in the second half as we'd done the week before against Glasgow. That really deserves a lot of credit. The players deserve a lot of praise for that, because that doesn't just show an ability to stick to game plans, but it also shows mentally staying together as a team and as a group, kind of under pressure, because I know they're desperate to win those games, and under that pressure they've stuck at it. They've stayed on task, worked extremely hard, hit some fantastic figures both in the on-field contact work we did, but also of course the locomotive distance we travelled, the speed elements we put into the game. All of those kind of things added up to, as I say, just showing how hard the lads were prepared to work to make things go our way. And when we work very hard at being a good Exeter Chiefs team, we tend to get good results, and as I say, 3 5-point wins talk for themselves really.
The challenge you gave the boys last week was to back up Europe, and they did that in emphatic style. Yeah,
I mean, the only thing we spoke about all week was attitude really, because if you can go away to La Rochelle and get a 5-point win, if you can come against a strong Glasgow side with 6, 7, 8 current Scottish internationals and get a win at home like we did, you've got to question that what is the reason for a poor performance or an underperformance against Wasps. Well, it's taking your foot off the pedal. It's a change in attitude. We spoke a lot about it in the run-up to the game. The players spoke an awful lot about it themselves, and then they delivered fully on the pitch. And again, it's great credit to them that they haven't let that slip. And simply put, it's kind of the challenge this week. Can you back up a third? Can you back up 3 wins with a fourth and then a fifth? And that's kind of what the challenge is for us now.
I was going to say a simple message, but from past experience, the AJ Bell Sale Sharks away, one of the toughest trips on the calendar.
Yeah, but one that's often brought the best out of us as well. We've had some tough games there, undoubtedly, and we have come and stuck there. We haven't got a perfect record there by any means. But actually, when we've won, I've always been really impressed with ourselves, how we've gone about it. And a lot of the time, it comes down to a decision to really defend well. Sale are a good attacking side. They've got an ability to hurt you in a number of ways, and they've got talented individuals, and they can almost score tries. I don't want to, almost in a variety of ways that many other teams don't score, and that coupled round, an ability to play well at home and kind of play well in the conditions that are often there, which are often a little bit greasy and just a bit different to most other places, and they're a real challenge. So when you go there and you win, you've normally done it with real strong set piece game, really hard work in defence, great discipline, and those are all things that show real qualities in the team. So for us, it's a great challenge, but it's one that we've achieved before, and particularly with the extra excitement of being a Heineken Cup game, I'd love to see us go there and put a real Exeter Chiefs performance in, and hopefully that will give us some rewards.
You've won games in the past where you've won the opening 2 games, and then it's faltered somewhat. What lessons have you learned, and what will you say to the guys ahead of this weekend that doesn't happen again, hopefully?
Well, I think one thing we certainly haven't been afraid of for the last couple of years is we don't mind talking about mistakes we've made in the past. I think sometimes when you're relatively new in a competition, you don't want to bring up negative thoughts. You don't want to bring up doubts or any of those kind of things around the players. But I think as we're all growing up together, all spending time together, you start to appreciate actually, you can talk to each other like men, because once everyone's experienced it, and most of this group have experienced what you just said. We've experienced great highs and great lows in the Heineken Cup, and the same in the Premiership. And actually, just saying to guys, come on, don't let it slip. Don't take it for granted that 2 good wins or 3 good wins means the next one just comes around the corner. It doesn't. You've all experienced this before, but at the same time, you've also all experienced that you have just played in those 3 games. You do know the things that you need to prepare for. You do know how you need to get yourself ready. You do know the mindset you need to go into the game. You do know the challenges you're going to face and what you've got to come through. So, we do talk about. We'll talk about the negatives of what can happen if you let your attitude slip, but we can also talk about the positives about how good things can be when you get it right. And we'll make sure we reinforce those lessons almost daily through the course of this week.
And the other positive was over the last few weeks, you've got game time into a lot of boys. You've rested key men at key times as well. That must be huge at this time of year.
Well, we'd like to think that of course the 3 games we've got that part of it as well. In that, you know, you look into this game now and we're going into it with a fresh Stuart Hogg after a week off, you know, after having a World Cup as well. Same with Slady, he had a genuine time away. Johnny Hills had a lot of game minutes, some time away. Jacques Vermeulen's played pretty much non-stop since he arrived South Africa, a time off. That allowed us, you know, Simbo had virtually a full game off. That allowed us to get valuable game minutes into Matt Kovacic, Don Armand, Yanis Kirsten was fantastic again. I thought Dave Dennis led the team exceptionally well with Jack Yendall being out. Obviously Luke Cowan-Dickey first start of the season got a good chunk of game minutes, as did Elvis Tony. You know, you start to work your way through the team. You know, Stino back there coming in to start and just running the show like he's never been away. You know, there's some fantastic things for us out there. Of course, you know, as anything, there's always going to be some negatives, and the negatives over the last couple of weeks with his injury to Jack Yendall, and you know, Flatt picking up his hammy, and same with Cuthie, and dolloping over a heel injury. But you know, you do have those week by week. You've just got to deal with those. But overall, you know, particularly around the forwards, I'm feeling like we're getting some genuine strength there.
Just bring us a little bit up to speed on Flats. You know, that was the real downer of last weekend, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it's always a downer when someone who's playing really well picks up that injury, because he was flying around, wasn't he? And at this stage, we're still kind of assessing the severity of it. I mean, it's a hamstring injury. It's not going to be one that's a couple of weeks. It's going to be a little bit worse than that. But we're not yet certain of the top end time scale coming back. You know, we're still assessing it, whether it's going to be bad enough to need an operation. We'll know the outcome of that in a day or two, and that will really then start defining his return to play time.
On the positive though, Ollie Woodburn's back out training again, so you lose one, you get in one.
That's right, and it's kind of the same. You know, Ollie Woodburn's been fantastic for us now for a number of years, played in some huge games for us and some huge wins, with some fantastic performances of his own. You know, I can remember him scoring some amazing tries here in Heineken Cup games. And he's going to have to step in now and do similar. But as I said, you know, we've got some other options as well. You know, we've got guys who can play in numerous positions, and it's at times like this you kind of look back and you're glad that you pick guys who can play in more than one position, and you're glad that you've moved them around the back line before, because you know, ultimately, you know, if you don't have multi-talented guys, you'd get stuck now. But we're okay. We'll still take a very strong team to Sale, and it will be strong the week after. We've got a great opportunity to do really well in the Heineken Cup, and we've got to make sure we go out there and try and take it with 2 hands.